Jimin admits he was hurt after Jungkook's sudden confession in Tokyo. What exactly happened? To understand this context, we have to go back to the moment when Jungkook surprisingly appeared at Haneda Airport, Tokyo, without an official schedule, without HYBE label's escort, and without prior public notice. That sudden visit immediately sparked a wave of speculation. Was this a sign that Jungkook wanted to break away from BTS? Was this the early signal of the split army had long feared? But what was even more surprising was the emotional response that came not only from the media or fans, but directly from Jimin. Through a statement delivered via the agency's official channel, Jimin didn't mention Jungkook's name directly, but his words pointed clearly. Honesty is important, but I hope it comes without leaving wounds for those who have walked with you all this time. This sentence cut through the public atmosphere like a sharp knife. ARMY, who had long known Jimin as a gentle figure, was suddenly faced with a more complex emotional side, a side that showed just how deep the wound he felt. But what exactly did Jungkook say in Tokyo that triggered such upheaval? Based on reports from Japanese entertainment media, although not yet fully confirmed, it was said that Jungkook, in a closed meeting with local entertainment investors, revealed that he was considering an independent career path in the next few years. This statement, though personal, shook BTS's emotional ecosystem. Jimin, who had long been known as the emotional glue among the members, was reportedly feeling abandoned by the unilateral confession. According to internal agency sources, discussions about BTS's future had indeed been ongoing since the start of the year, especially during this transition period when some members were still completing military service and others had finished. However, Jungkook's decision to reveal his thoughts abroad, without first consolidating with his group mates, was said to be the spark of tension. "I'm learning to accept painful changes," Jimin wrote at the end of his statement, a sentence that sparked thousands of interpretations on social media. Many interpreted it as a sign that Jimin felt betrayed by Jungkook's move, while others saw it as a personal reflection on their journey as a group that has been together for over a decade. However, behind the uproar of speculation, it's important to note that HYBE labels officially stated that Jungkook's visit to Tokyo was purely for personal matters, with no professional agenda or press conference. There was no visual documentation, no official transcripts, nor videos supporting the narrative of a formal confession from Jungkook in Japan. This strengthened the suspicion that many of the circulating rumors were actually wild interpretations from media and fans hungry for BTS internal drama. Even so, it's undeniable that Jimin was indeed going through a heavy emotional phase. Some Korean entertainment analysts noted that Jimin is one of the most emotionally vulnerable members when facing the dynamics of change within the group. All this time, he had been known as the encourager, the peacemaker, and the heart connector among the members. So, when one member suddenly showed a move considered individualistic, it was natural for Jimin to feel shaken. Interestingly, so far, there are no signs that Jimin and Jungkook's personal relationship has truly broken. They still follow each other on social media, and according to some staff handling their schedules, communication between the two continues, even though its intensity has decreased due to their respective busy lives. In an unofficial interview leaked to local media, one staff member even said, "Jimin and Jungkook are like brothers. They can have fierce fights, but they also know how to forgive each other." The issue isn't merely whether they are fighting or not, but how the public perceives the emerging narrative. Many armies are too used to seeing their warmth in front of the camera, so when there's distance or a difference in direction, it's immediately translated as a sign of a split. Yet, as one media analyst said, any group that has been together for over a decade will inevitably face a phase where the members need to find their own identities. That's not betrayal, but a process of growth. Jimin himself, in an additional clarification, stated that he didn't want fans to misunderstand. "Whatever happens, I love you all, I love them all," he wrote, referring to the BTS members. This statement at least slightly eased public worries, though it didn't completely erase the big question mark hanging. Is Jungkook's move indeed a signal toward a more decisive solo path? And if so, how will Jimin and the other members adjust? In the context of Korea's highly competitive entertainment industry, career direction changes like this are nothing new. But when the one changing is a member of a group as big as BTS, every small step they take will be magnified thousands of times by media, fans, even competitors. In situations like this, words like "hurt" coming out of Jimin's mouth don't just become a headline, but also fuel endless speculation. In the end, This case teaches one important thing, that behind the grand stage, behind the millions of adoring fans, idols are also human. They have feelings, inner struggles, and the right to think about their own futures. Jimin, Jungkook, and the other BTS members are now standing at a crossroads that might determine their path forward. Will Jungkook's confession in Tokyo mark the beginning of a more decisive solo move? Will Jimin be able to forgive and accept that change? Or is all of this just a passing storm that will subside when they reunite on stage? For now, only time can answer. But one thing's for sure, the world will keep watching their every step, every word they say, and every tear they hold back behind their smiles. We have to pause for a moment and ask, is all this real? Or are we, as the public, as ARMY, as media observers, trapped in a web of narratives deliberately designed to create drama? Let's break down the layers wrapping this news one by one. First, let's look at it from a factual side. Did Jungkook really fly to Tokyo suddenly without an official HYB agenda? Social media, especially Twitter and TikTok, is full of short videos showing the alleged arrival of Jungkook at Haneda Airport. But is there concrete evidence, like official documentation from the airport, the agency, or major media? Why hasn't a single major news outlet confirmed the closed meeting with Japanese entertainment investors? Is it possible all this is just fabrication that grew wildly from clips, blurry photos, and rumors spread by fanbase accounts to rake in likes and views? Then we move to Jimin's statement. Sentences like, "Honesty is important, but I hope it comes without leaving wounds for those who have walked with you all this time," sound very emotional, even dramatic. But who can guarantee that these words were indeed directly addressed to Jungkook? Haven't we all been too quick to conclude, just because coincidental moments seem to point there? Have we ever thought that this statement might relate to something else? Maybe personal matters, career pressure, or self-reflection that has nothing to do with the Jungkook and Tokyo issue? Why are we, as spectators, always hungry for conflict narratives? Is it because drama always draws more attention compared to calm, ordinary realities? The circulating sources of information, as we mentioned, come from TikTok, YouTube, Twitter, and various other media. But have we paused for a moment to verify who first spread this narrative? Who benefits from the explosion of this issue? Is this purely about curious fans? Or are there other parties deliberately heating things up for economic, political, or simply popularity gains? In the age of social media algorithms, we all know that the more controversial an issue is, the greater its reach and engagement. So, are we becoming victims of media manipulation? The next question, equally important. Do we truly believe that Jungkook wants to leave BTS? If so, why would he choose to leak it in a closed meeting in Japan instead of delivering it officially through HYB or their own platforms? Does it make sense that an artist of Jungkook's caliber, who is very aware of the huge impact of every word he says, would make such an important confession without first consulting management and his teammates? Or perhaps here lies the trap. We're being led to believe that scenario, when maybe all of it is just an illusion shaped by media narratives. Jimin, on the other hand, is known as a very sensitive and empathetic figure. But is it possible that we are too quick to read emotions into him based only on one or two sentences quoted by the media? Have we ever questioned, did the media really quote the full context of his statement, or did they only cut out the hot parts to boost clicks? Haven't we seen too often that celebrities worldwide have to issue clarifications because their words were misinterpreted? Therefore, let's reflect together. Have we as fans, as readers, as viewers, been skeptical enough in filtering information? Or have we, unconsciously, helped spread the flames of speculation just because we want to feel involved in the drama of the idols we admire? Have we ever thought about how it feels for Jimin and Jungkook if they read all this speculation when behind the scenes, maybe they're trying to understand each other and heal their own wounds? Do we want to be part of the circle that pressures them further or part of the circle that holds back, gives them space, and respects their privacy? If we take this issue as fact, what proof can we really hold on to? Is there a clear official statement? Is there authentic recorded evidence? Can all the circulating sources be verified?